It may be Sunday, but it ain't no day of rest. It's time to hit the ground running. Now, you may remember from the last vlog that I had this big pile of misfit objects that I'm going to need to sort through and put away. But we're not tackling that today. I still have work to do on this side of the room. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give all the shelves a nice wipe over with this cabinet and furniture cleaner. Now, this isn't furniture polish. I'm not the biggest fan of furniture polish because I consider that stuff from a long ago period when you put plastic on your couches and you weren't allowed to go into the living room. Furniture polish does make furniture look nice and shiny, but that's because it puts so much oil and wax on the furniture. So it looks nice, but you lay something on there, it's greasy. It's more for show than for practicality, and I use my furniture, so I'm going to clean it instead. Now here's the perfect example why it's always a great idea to go through your stuff on occasion. Because as I was cleaning things up, I found this magazine, and I couldn't for the life of me remember why I had it until I opened it and realized there was a little article about a book I had edited. I never realized that magazine was up there and wouldn't have if I hadn't done some cleaning. And so here I am going through and cleaning all the shelves and giving them a good scrub, and in the corners as well. And of course I went ahead and cleaned the little cabinet under my TV. And I got the end table, which has gotten pretty dirty over the last few months. And now it's time to take care of the desk. Since the desk is always the center of your work environment, it becomes a catch-all for all kinds of mess. And so taking things apart and cleaning is always a good idea. Now, putting together my charger station was going to be a headache because, of course, you have all these cables to deal with. Underneath my desk could use some serious cable management, but I'm not going to deal with that right now because I'm considering a few things first, and I might wind up wasting my time. But we'll talk about that later. Next, I tackled my side bookcases, and I had to take some of my knickknacks off the shelf so that I give them a good cleaning. And when I did that, I noticed there was a lot of dust on the glass parts, so I got some glass cleaner to take care of them. And got the idea that since I already had the glass cleaner out, I might as well go ahead and do all the pictures I had on my wall as well. Next, we tackle the podcasting bay. Now, normally when we do the podcast, Mandy and I would sit together and record, but since the quarantine, of course, she's been calling in instead, so I've been sitting here by myself. And at this point, there's no point in hooking up her equipment until she starts coming back. Now, with a lot of the desk, it's going to be very difficult to keep some tangles and some nesting from happening, but I can keep things looking pretty neat for the most part. Now, the next thing that I need to do is I'm going to go into some of my storage areas on this side of the room, like this cabinet here and this end table. What I want to do is I want to take everything out of it and see what I've got stored in there, because most of my storage spaces I've been using basically as an out of sight, out of mind type of a thing. So I want to take everything out, see what I've actually got in there, and then make a decision as to what type of things I'm going to keep in those storage areas. I think for the little cabinet under the TV, I'm going to have that be my office supply place. That's where I'm going to keep my paper, post-it notes, spare pens, all of that stuff and my important papers, and keep all that out of the way. For the end table, I think I'm going to make that strictly my electronic stuff, extra cables, my earbuds. So let's get started. Fortunately, this area wasn't too badly messed up, although I do have this huge box of pens that I need to go through and figure out which ones work, so that wasn't too bad. But working on my end table, I did find this big stack of magazines that I've been meaning to read, but never did get around to. But I'm planning on scheduling them so that I can get them read. Now, I do have a couple of other spaces to take care of, including this level of shelves, and I hope to take care of that sometime this week.
This cabinet, though, it's going to be tough.